Hey guys, Coach Vinny here. So a struggle that we deal with typically, this time of the year is what I like to call the emotional rats. All right. So an easier term to look at it is emotional triggers. Right. But what ends up happening a lot of times at this time of the year is everybody's trying to figure out, what am I doing next season? All right. The season winds down and everybody's in that mode right now. You've got coaches are recruiting, you've got parents are recruiting, you've got players. Grass is greener on the other side. I mean, all kinds of stuff is going on. And at the core of what we're dealing with right now with our families and players is always bringing it back to and realizing that the emotional rats are going to exist all the time. And what I mean by emotional rats is this, that in hockey, there's this term, right, that you call a rat. And the job of the rat is to do what? It's to get you off your game, right? So whether it's saying something, whether it's your mama jokes, whatever it is, something, right, to try to get under your skin, or whether it's poking you, right, hitting you, cross-checking, doing something extra to just get under your skin, or giving you a quick little shot. It's always basically along those lines, right? It falls somewhere in there that there's this emotional trigger, this emotional rat, right, that plays this role with you and just gets in there and it comes from somewhere. And the one thing that I always point out to our families and players is remember that when you have a parent reaching out to you and giving you their perspective and telling you what they think you should do, the one thing to always keep in mind is that they're giving you their perspective on what they think you should do, right? Ultimately, their child, their experience is completely different from your experience and your child. And that's the one thing that I always bring it back to is that when you hear coaches, right, selling you on a program and saying all kinds of wonderful things to you, well, there's a history to that program. It's not as simple as just selling you on magical pie in the sky stuff. There's science there, there's research, there's people I can call that I trust potentially that actually played in the program, that played for this coach, played for this organization. There's all kinds of things that you can do today. So those emotional rats, right, when they kick in, that this parent said something to you and got you all riled up and said, oh my God, did you hear the coach is going here? Or you should go here, you should go do this. That's the kind of stuff that you have to pay attention to and realize that just because somebody else is telling you what you should do does not mean that's what you should go do. Right? Fundamentally, what I always bring our families back to is this, guys, right? And when we talk about becoming self-aware and understand, that's a big part of whatever you want to call it, emotional intelligence, self-awareness, right? All these things of understanding that at the core of everything is, number one, you have to be able to look at it and go, do you know what's non-negotiable for you or what's negotiable? Right? What's non-negotiable versus what's negotiable. And if you can go in like that and have a list and have something laid out of what you're looking for from the experience, well, that takes away and that basically cuts out the emotional rat. Right? But if you don't have that right in there and you don't have a target, right? You don't know exactly what it is that you're looking for, well, that's when the emotional rat can mess around with you, right? It can get under your skin, it can throw you off your game and all that fun stuff. So a simple reminder, we all deal with the emotional rats. They're everywhere. People are going to say stuff intentionally, unintentionally, with the best intentions that trying to help you out. They think they're saying the right thing. And the reality is, for you, it might be completely the wrong thing, but for them, it might be the right thing. So pay attention to those signals. Pay attention to the emotional rats. And that's the only way. And make sure you have a target, right? Make sure you know exactly, you know what? This is what I'm looking for out of my experience next year. These are my negotiables. These are the non-negotiables. I want this for sure. And if you stay steady with that, guys, it takes the emotional part out of the equation and helps calm you down right away. But if you don't have that and you don't know what that is, well, that's where the issues come in. Right? And we spend a lot of time with our students and families working on these type of things because we all know emotional rats are real. They create a lot of noise. They create a lot of hectic feelings. But the reality is that if you know what you're looking for, you're aware, you know exactly what you're shooting for, what target, it makes the journey a lot easier, guys. So hopefully this resonates, it helps out. Any questions, comment below. If you have any experiences with your own emotional rats, comment below, let's start a discussion. But we're all in this together. We all deal with it the same way. The reality is some people just have tools in the shed better than others, right? See you guys.